This is the first time I'm seeing some of this stuff. So just so you know, this is totally fresh. First time I'm seeing some of the same stuff that you're looking at right now. First one is, let's expand this one out. Let's get this one a little bit better, bigger here, if I can. Get it a little bit, expand it out there. Okay, I hope you can see that if you're happen to be here on YouTube. Okay, so this one is for a client in Austin. This is, okay, so first off, caveat here. So this is from it looks like a technical recruiter called VTech Solutions, and they have a job opportunity. What happens is these technical recruiters, they have access to all of these jobs from universities, from federal government, from private sector, and they reach out to people and try to find people like you and I to hook you up with that job opportunity. So in this case, this job opportunity is for a position in Austin IT Community College. All right, I'm assuming that means it's going to be local. And it's senior cybersecurity engineer in Austin, Texas, 12 months, possible extension. And before we go any further in this particular job, you should know that I've got courses to explain how I actually get these types of opportunities all the time, like every day, many times a week. I'm getting these kinds of opportunities. Go ahead and go to ConvoCourses.com. I've got free courses there. I've got free introductions to courses that are paid. I've got lots of stuff there. So go ahead and go check that out if you're interested. All right. But in the meantime, let me tell you about this job here. Let's talk about it. All right. So this one is, the complete description is, they're saying, help us protect higher education clients from the most advanced threats. I wonder if they're talking about advanced persistent threats. That's what it seems like they're talking about here. This security team will break the mold of a traditional internal security and focus on active threats to the client's infrastructure. As a senior cybersecurity engineer, okay, I guess that's the title there, cybersecurity engineer, you will perform technical security assessments and current and new systems, monitor emerging vulnerabilities, create tools for known gaps, and deploy large-scale security monitoring systems. Okay, just kind of scanning through this one to see if there's any things we should know about here. Let's go into some of the stuff they want us to do. They want us to have experience and abilities to assist, and I'm not going to read all of these. I'm just kind of skim through the stuff that we need to know, and we're going to move on to the next job. Assist, develop, and maintain tools, rule sets for firewalls. All right, let's see if they talk about that. I think I saw Palo Alto firewall. Yeah. So they want you to know Palo Alto firewall, and the things they want you to do is maintenance on the rule set for firewalls. And they mention IPS, IDS, help determine tactics, techniques, and procedures, TTPs for the security tools. They want us to recommend computing environment vulnerability corrections. Like they run a vulnerability scan, and they find all these vulnerabilities. They want us to be the subject matter experts as the senior cybersecurity engineer to actually fix those particular things. Conduct research, analysis, and correlation across a wide variety of all sources of data sets. So information is going to be coming in to our network if we're working over at, what is it called, Austin IT Community College, and they want us to be able to assess, okay, what data is coming in? Is this benign? Is it malignant? Is it malware? Is it an advanced persistent threat? Is it exploiting some vulnerabilities that we have that are known vulnerabilities? Those are the kinds of stuff that they're expecting us to do as a senior cybersecurity engineer. Okay, they're wanting us to assist in the construction of signatures which can be implemented on the cyber defense network tools in response to new or observed threats within the network environment or enclaves. It looks like they have multiple networks. They have a large environment, some kind of enterprise environment, and then they have all of these offshoots of different networks, and that's what an enclave is, like small pockets of networks that are kind of closed off or internal to certain departments that are on the Austin IT Community College, their network. Okay, interesting. Perform patch management for MSSP security tools. Provide cybersecurity recommendations to leadership based on significant threats and vulnerabilities. Okay, and we already talked about Palo Alto. SIEM technology. More and more I'm noticing people talking about SIEM technologies and introducing those into their network, especially larger networks. I'm wondering what kind of SIEM that they use. I'm thinking it's Splunk. A lot of folks these days are using Splunk, and I'm not seeing any of those, the type of SIEM. But what I've noticed about SIEM technology, and a SIEM is a security event information manager, and it allows you to correlate or match up and analyze different logs that are coming into your network. But what I've noticed is, if you know one SIEM really well, like if you know ArcSight, typically they're not going to turn you away if you know one SIEM, but you're not proficient at another SIEM. I've noticed if you're good at ArcSight, they have Splunk. If you're really good at SIEM technology, they'll still hire you on and like do some light training or something like that. Because chances are, if you know one SIEM, you kind of know them all. All right. They're asking for a lot of things here. VPN, knowledge of Linux OS, that's pretty typical. But the one that kind of stands out to me is this one: Windows Active Directory domains. Working knowledge of Windows Active Directory. They want you to know how to understand how they work, not necessarily install them. Okay, so that's to be expected. Working knowledge of various Linux OS, strong knowledge of information technology, security principles and methodologies, firewall, DMZs, encryption. This is pretty typical. As a senior cybersecurity engineer, you're going to be expected to know a lot of different things. So I would agree with this one, yeah. Because this is expanding over many, many different things. But if you've been doing this for a while, then you should have a working understanding of many of these things. And typically, one thing to note in the language of these things when they're asking for jobs, knowledge of, doesn't necessarily mean you have to have done it before. But if you have a very strong knowledge of how it works, I mean, the more hands-on experience you have, the better. But knowledge of, whenever they say that have that in job requirements, that just means you need to know how it works, and you don't necessarily have to have known Wireshark and or TCP dump, but you have to have a working knowledge of how it works. But when they say, let me see if I can get some more information here. Yeah, knowledge of is different from working knowledge. If they say working knowledge of, they're expecting you to have a different level of experience with it, as opposed to ability to interpret information collected from network tools. Like that's literally, they want you to be able to do that, So just kind of pointing that out. And there's a difference between working knowledge and ability to do this. And then skills in using protocol analyzers. Like you need to, if they say skills in, that means that you need to actually be able to do this. All right. That's it for this one. I will put all the contact information in the description below if you happen to be watching this live. Here is the number. I will read it out for those who, if you're just happen to be listening to this. The number is 202-301-4123. That's a direct line. And you can also contact them at vtechsolution.us. All one word. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see what other jobs we have here. I'm going to do 3, and then we're going to open it up to questions. I see people actually talking to me here, asking questions and stuff, and we will get to those.